about the questions. The questions have been coming in at a high rate, which of course is good. We're glad they're coming in. They came in up until and including late last night, and we already had one session this morning, 7 a.m. this morning, what's that, 10 hours ago. So we didn't have time to do anything with the questions that came in at the last minute. So we apologize for that. Among the questions we chose to discuss now are questions which, first of all, any question which is a duplicate question we take, because then we know several people are interested in it, and those questions which come in earlier. So enough said on that. Let's begin. Currently, in the Get It tab of Primo, we see request options for request, digitization, and also resource sharing. We think this is a bug, and the resource sharing option should only appear should not appear if we own the item. Can you please fix this in the next release? So first of all, let's take a look at what's being referred to here. I have my Alma open and my corresponding Primo open. And let's just do a search for anything here and see what's going to happen. Okay, we'll take the first one that appears. All right, so we got here Essential Classification by Vanda Broughton. And I'm going to click the Get It tab here.
Oh, man.
Oh, I got to sign in. Sorry about that. Thank you for pointing that out.
Flashes though. There'll be brief periods of blackness.
And get it. Okay, so as you can see, I own the item, first of all. I have it in the main library general collection. There's one copy, one available, and I can request it according to my fulfillment unit rules. And also, I have resource sharing request here, and I have my several resource sharing request options that I'm using: Iliad, OCLC Navigate, Relay, D2D. And the comment here is, we think this is a bug. They think it's a bug. The person, oops, sorry about that. We don't need the February release notes open right now. So they think it's a bug that we have resource sharing even though I own the item. Okay, legitimate to say that it's not useful to have resource sharing requests if I own the item. In any case, this is a configurable parameter, configurable from within Alma, and can be removed there. Let's take a look at that for a moment. Here I am in Alma, and one of the places we're going to be spending a lot of time in the next 57 minutes is under the Fulfillment Configuration menu, Discovery Interface Display Logic. And here we can control a lot of what appears in Primo, in some cases what appears in the uResolver, even if coming from somewhere else. And one of the places we'll play around also later, in addition to right now, is the display logic rules, where I can determine when and under what conditions certain options or not options will appear. So here I'm going to add a rule. And I'll say here that for user group administrative staff, because here, this person here, the chief librarian and senior library director, is administrative staff, we'll say for him, we're going to hide the service resource sharing request with self-ownership true. In other words, if we own the item, which is right here, we own this item, we have it, it's in our library. One small comment, either I'll everybody or stop talking. I mean mute everybody. Sorry about that. I'd never delete someone. But either we'll do a global mute, or let's see if we can stop talking. So I'm going to say here, administrative staff, we're going to resource sharing request be hidden if we own it. And I can go on and say it's something else, etc., but we're going to keep it relatively simple. And just say for staff, we're going to hide the resource sharing request when I own it, add and close. Okay. And here, this user who is logged in, let's make sure the chief librarian, we'll take a look at him. Find and manage users.
What do you want to do, Rebecca?
There's only one chief, and we'll take a look at him, and he is administrative staff. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen now. We'll search for essential classification again. And again, we'll click on Get It. Look at that. Unbelievable, huh? Now, all we have is request, and we no longer see the other options, which we said we wanted. Okay, so now, let's put it back. Or better yet, if I log in now with a user who is not administrative staff, I should see the option. Let's take a look at another user. Let's take a look at Cindy. Cindy Brady, she's also administrative staff. What about Marcia Brady? Marcia is a graduate student. So if Marcia Brady logs in, you see I see only request now. We'll sign out of the chief. Sign in now as Marcia.
Dearest ex-Libris, your Marcia example in the webinar. I haven't learned anything yet because of the technical. You want to learn anything?
We're going to do the same search here. We're going to click Get It.
I think you already knew how to do it.
Sign out of here. We're going to remove now the rule.
The analytics one, I didn't learn anything.
All right, I think that's, I'm going to do mute now. A lot of people are talking. Sorry about this. If you want to speak, just unmute yourself. So there's one library there. Sounds like they're really having a blast. I'm glad everyone's enjoying themselves. Okay, so everybody's muted. So if you want to speak,
unmute your line.
Feel free. Sorry I did that to you.
Or
all right. So we're going to remove now the new rule we made, which is for user groups, hide the service, etc., etc. Removed. Do the same exact search again. We're going to sign back in. Oh, you saw my front. One moment, please. And sorry about that, everybody. Let's go in the old-fashioned way. Okay. Now we're logged in. Same search. Same get it. And now all the options are back. So that's how we can hide it. So that answers our question regarding, can you please fix this in the next release? We think it's a bug. Every library wants different things. That's the way we can remove the resource sharing option if we own the item. Let's see if there's any questions or comments here. I'm going to go back to the ever-growing participant list, and you can either raise your hand, unmute yourself and speak, or send a note and let us know if you have a question or comment on that one. No questions or comments. All of these users and no questions or comments. Can you just raise your hand? Well, we've got a lot of double users here, I see. Some users appear twice with the same name. Very interesting. Anyway, can you raise your hand if you hear us okay? Okay, the hands are going up. That's good. So let's go on to the next question then. Okay, you can put your hands down if you'd like. When a user searches Primo and is not logged in, we want the user to not see the message that the item is loanable, but rather see a message such as sign in to view item or sign in to view policy. Currently, if I search Primo by facet, by available in library, then to the Get It tab, I see it as loanable. This is wrong because in some cases, after the user logs in, it will not be loanable. Okay, rather than continuing with our explanation, we'll go in and see what the story is. So if we're going to be a guest here, we're going to sign out for a moment. So we're a guest in Primo. And let's take that same example we've been using now, essential classification. And here, under essential classification, we'll click Get It. I'm a guest. And we can see here under policy, it states loanable. But actually, it shouldn't state loanable here because for me as the guest, once I log in, it might be that I have a block or I'm simply not allowed to loan. So the library is requesting that it say something to the effect of you must log in order to know if this is loanable, or in nicer terms, sign in to view policy. So let's do that. And we're going to change this now, this loanable. By the way, there's a future question also here about changing this item in place to state, go to the shelf and get it, or go to the shelf to see where it is, or it's at the shelf. Let's in fact take a look at that one right now, and we'll do them both at the same time. So here's the other one. It says, under the status column, it states item in place. When the item, can you please change this for us? This is a library that is still in implementation. Can you please change this for us to item on shelf? So we're going to do two things right now. We're going to change this to item on shelf, and we're going to change this to log in to view policy or sign in to view policy. So once again, we're going to go to Alma and to the Fulfillment Configuration menu. And last time, we went to the Discovery Interface Display Logic, to the Display Logic rules. And this time, we're going to go to Labels. Labels is where we can change the text for many of the places throughout Primo. And here, this is the description. This is the text that appears in this description column. So we will find now, Control F, find in page. What did we want to change? Loanable. There it is, loanable. So I'm going to click Customize here on the loanable. And now we're going to change it. And instead of loanable, we're going to say sign in to view policy. Okay, and while we're at it, I can see here the item in place. Let's change this as well. I'm going to click Customize at the end of the line where it says item in place. And now we'll change this to it is on the shelf, or whatever I feel like putting in there. And I made my changes. I'll click Customize on the whole table. And everything's good. This is what we've got. Ooh, where am I here? This is what we've got now. We come back and we search for it. Oh, wrong system. Sorry about that. Ah, good. I got this here. Let's take a picture, put this on the side, so we remember what it used to say. So we now change Discovery Interface Display Logic, labels for book, and for item in place. Oh, I'm sorry, for loanable. Right. Thanks for pointing that out. We changed for loanable, and we changed for item in place. And now we're going to go see what's going to happen here. Everybody ready? Do the search again, search. Click the Get It tab, and now instead of loanable, it should say Sign in to View Policy, and instead of Item in Place, it should say that it's on the shelf.
I don't know if it counts for speaker. I think
There it is, Sign in to View Policy and Item on Shelf. Fantastic.
maybe, I don't know. It's on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, that's our studio audience. So that's how we can change it there. Now it's been changed. Let's put that back before we forget. I see someone, the same crowd who seems to be having such a wonderful time there, unmuted themselves. Okay, so now we can restore it. Those of you who remember the days of the files on the server that you had to save on the side, P minus P, and put them back when you're done, here all we have to do is click Customize on the last screen here. So instead of Sign in to View Policy, we'll click Restore. It'll automatically go back to the previous version. We don't have to remember what it is, saves files on the side. We just click Restore. And same thing here for items on the shelf. We'll just do Restore. Customize. We'll do that same search one more time. And now it should be back to the way it was. Great. Now it's again loanable, item in place. So that answers, we wanted to say click here for access. We wanted to say, instead of item, we wanted to say item on shelf. We wanted to say available. That's how the text there can be changed. One other change that they want is the full text available. We could do that one as well while we're already talking about changing the labels. So let's do a search there and see what's going to happen here. So we'll go to Alma. Let's try this time Alma and Primo Central. Pacing and clinical electrophysiology. Nope, we want one that's going to give us the... Okay, great. So pacing, here it says full text available at. And here, they don't want the full text. Also in the Viewer tab, instead of full text available at, we wanted to say click here for access. So same thing here. We'll go into the discovery, the labels, fulfillment configuration menu, labels. We'll find the full text available at, customize it, change it to whatever we want, click here for link, for example, save our table, do the same search one more time, pacing and clinical search, view it, and now it says click here for link. Same as the other ones we did before. If everything was clear there, it should be here clear as well. Now we put it back, we go into the labels, no need to restore anything. All we have to do, click here for link, we'll say restore, and it's back. Okay, so I think we're ready now to move on to our next subject. We'll make sure this is back in order here. Pacing and clinical, view it, and it's back to full text available at. Okay, next. Let's go actually to the last question. because this one is going to take a little more time. Are there any questions or comments? Let's take a brief look there at the participants. Whoa, a lot of new people have joined since last time we've looked at this list. Are there any questions or comments from anybody? No questions or comments. All these people, we've gone through 4 questions, and there's no questions or comments. Very interesting. Can we get a quick hand raise just to make sure everyone can still hear us all right? Okay. Both Davids can hear us okay. Bob can hear us. Amanda, Angelo, Baram, can you hear us? Okay, great. So, here's our next question. We were once given a Primo demo. Only once they were given a Primo demo. Where there was a link in Primo to view the record from the Get It tab right to Amazon. That's right. That's something we often show when we're showing all the powerful features of Primo. How can we set this up? Okay. So what they're referring to here is underneath the View It or underneath the Get It, depending on my setup. Let's do a quick book search here for a book. Here's a book. A book on Balkan astronyms. Oh, that's a View It. I want to Get It. A book of miscellanies. There's a nice one. So it's possible to put a link in here, which you can click, and it will automatically go to wherever you say you want it to go. Oh, we had a quick question there. Very interesting. Let's see that question. Is it possible to incorporate HTML code in the labels? Is that your question? Oh, there it is. For example, full text available at to be in bold. Okay, we have a question. Let's take this question before we go on. She asks, we'll say he or she. We're keeping everything anonymous. Is it possible to incorporate HTML code when I customize text? Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try right now. If, for example, I say full text available at, all right. We're going to come back to Yisrael, do you know if this is possible? Or are we going to discover this all at once? Okay, let's all see together. We'll learn something together here. We're in our labels. We're going to go to full text available at customize. And I want to stress that the full text is available. And let's say, let's do that. Okay, that's fine. I think we did something like this before, and I think it depends also on the skin or the CSS in the Primo. Oh, let me close that eye, yeah. Otherwise, everything will be italics. Let's see what's going to happen now. This is going to be interesting. And just to make sure, I'll put in some more text. Okay. I got something wrong here on my eye? Oh, I got my slash in the wrong place. All right, this is going to be exciting. Let's save this. Customize. Okay, I just want to confirm. We're all trust Alma, but let's confirm that anyway. Okay, looking good. And let's do our same search. Pacing, clinical, etc. Second result. Look at that. Answer to your question, he or she, is yes. You can incorporate HTML code, powerful system, inside your labels. At least in these labels. Let's clarify that. At least in these labels. There may be places where it may conflict with a previously defined who knows what, but right here for sure you can. That looks nice actually. But let's put that back right away. We don't want to do anything we shouldn't be doing here. So as we know, it's very simple to restore, and that's all back to normal. Okay, fantastic. And let's see if there were any other questions here. When you change the label, does the fields also change in Alma Analytics? Example, I have a query with item in place. That's the automatic change in analytics as I customize that. No. When you change the text here, it has nothing to do with the data that is exported to Alma Analytics. The data to Alma Analytics is coming from internal codes. This is only in the display. It's only created on the fly into the Alma resolver and will have no impact on your export to analytics. Okay, great. Let's move on. 5:25, we've got 35 more minutes and we're going to a heavy one. So we're on here now. We want to make we call this an electronic service. Let's just build it and we'll see. So we're going to make a link after somebody does a search in Alma and they click the view it or the get it. There's going to be a link here saying search for this in Amazon, search for this in Google, whatever you prefer. And let's just take a book here, clinical cardiac something. Everything's electronic. That's good. That's the modern world. Change to only Alma. Okay. All right. So here we go now. Let's just say cardiac in Alma for a get it. Oh, that's an interesting one. And we're going to make a link here that's going to appear. So let's say, for example, we want to make a link which goes to Google. Every internet site, whether it be Amazon, ProQuest, Google, Yahoo, etc., has its own syntax. If, for example, I search here now for, I'm just looking at some leftover pizza from lunch here, pizza and cheese and something else. Pizza, cheese, and I got a book on my desk. Okay. It always takes the last three and it puts them right into the URL. So, for example, if I want to search Google for salami cheese in a book, salami cheese and bread, it's always going to be like this, and everything's fine. Oh, those are some nice looking images. So, if I want the item or the bibliographic record which I'm looking at to also be searched, I would need to do a URL like this and either put in the titles or do it with the ISBN or the ISSN or whatever. However, the trick is I need to know exactly the syntax of the title or the ISSN. Those of you who are big SFX users know we have the open URL with the RFT dot A title, B title, S title, J title, which is the article title, book title, serial title, and journal title. And we have EISSN and regular ISSN, ISBN, etc., also with an RFT dot. So in order to get that, I'm just going to stop sharing Permit Me for 1 minute because I don't want anyone to see any passwords, and I'm going to log in somewhere. So 1 moment, please. This is just for a little bit of security, just a little bit. And I want to show how you can easily see the open URL. Okay, so I'm just going to search for something. Okay, I'm resharing my desktop already as we speak. And we'll see my desktop in a moment. Nice. Okay, so from within Primo, one way to see the open URLs is when I click the Find It and the View in a New Window, here I am on a record called Chemical from Review of Optometry, and I see here the open URL. That's one way of doing it. There's a million ways. Another way is I can view the frame. This is called the mashup. I can view the frame and say view the frame source. And here I have a special debug URL. This is a really nice feature. There's many really nice features. And here, look at the size of this URL. Here, I can also view the open URL. This one actually looks a lot nicer in IE because it formats the XML nicely. Okay, so here's my review of optometry with an RFTJ title. So these are all of the different parameters I can use when I'm creating my search query here. We started with salami, cheese, and bread. What do I really want there? Let's search by the various titles. The article title is chemical. The journal title is review of optometry. There's also an S title, an L title, and maybe there's even another title. Here's a J title. S title is a series title. So I'm going to say Control F title. And, okay, I've got RFTJ title. Let's see all the titles I've got. J, A, S, and B. Okay, you remember them all, Yisrael? Because I'm going to stick them in here right now. So now I'll say, instead of salami, I've got to put it in these curly brackets or squiggly brackets. What do we have? J title, B title, etc., right? I'm just going to do this and then we'll change the letter. What were the others, Yisrael?
Journal, book, article, serial.
Journal, book, article, and serial. Okay. Cereal like Cheerios and cornflakes. Journal, book, article, and serial. Serial. What am I missing here? Yes. Now I could also put in the ISBN, the year, anything I want to search for, I could stick in there. That's one way to see it. The other way, once you put your mouse on here, you see the full URL also. I could say copy the link location and spit it right out to here, and then I've got it also here. Here's my journal title, Review of Optometry. It looks a little nicer on the web if you ask me, but it's another way to do it. You can also go to the internet and get a formal list. Okay, so now here is what I want to search for. It's just like from Google. It's just taking a value from whatever I'm searching for. Now, how do I put it in there? We go back to Alma now. And we'll go back to the Fulfillment Configuration menu. We've got to be careful here. To the General Electronic Services. And here's the Amazon that already appeared. Let's do Add Service. My service code, I'll call it Google by Title. Oh, I already got Google by Title. Service name, Google by Title Service. Okay. Service description, that should be pretty obvious. Public name is what's going to appear in the user interface of the Alma resolver, also known as the mashup inside Primo. Public name here, search for this title. Search Google for this title. I don't want to know. Now here I can say only put it in the get it, only put it in the view it, put it in the get it and view it, or don't put it in any. Which of course begs the question, well, why would I choose none? If I don't want it, I wouldn't make it in the first place. But it may be that you've made it, but you don't want to delete it because you might want to put it back later, so you'll temporarily choose none. Here's my template. This is what we originally had, a salami, cheese, and bread, and then we took it from the open URL, add and close. But we're not done yet. There's more. I can also say here, here's my Google by title, actions, edit. I also have enable without login. I'll say yes. Actually, this morning, that went through a curveball at us. We chose no. We weren't logged in, and it didn't appear. We didn't know why. We forgot that we didn't choose no, that we chose no. Now the rules. Now I can say all kinds of rules, such as if the author is empty, then display it. Or if the author is empty, then don't display it. And I can make all kinds of rules here. But what I'm going to do is just change my default rule to say always appear. This is the default rule only for this Google by title rule, by the way. Let me make sure we got that. Yes, is display true. Great. So now we're ready to go and do a search here and see what's going to happen. So we're going to go to Primo and search for it and see if we're going to get this link. Let's give it a try. Let's see who's still with us here. Participants, we still got a good crowd. Yes, we do. Here we go. Over to Primo. Oh, did I save? I didn't save? Okay, we'll save again. Yeah, great. Thanks for pointing that out. All right. Here's the first record we used today, Essential Classification. And we click the Get It tab. There it is. Search Google for this title. I'm going to click it. You can play around with other things like how it appears, where it appears. We'll save that for another day. I'm going to click. I'm in Essential Classification. I'm going to search Google for this title. Click. It went to Google, and it searches for Essential Classification. Perfect. Look at that. So I ended up doing a Google search. I put in an electronic service for Google search. I clicked it here in Primo, and it automatically opened in Google. Okay. Any questions or comments on that? I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. Are there any questions or comments there? I'm surprised. All of these powerful functions, and there's no questions or comments. Let's just make sure everyone still hears us okay. Can you raise your hands if you hear us all right? Okay, Ben can hear us. Barbara, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Calling user 7, can you hear us? All right, there's a lot of hands going up, so I guess the communication is still good. That's good to hear. Okay, Northeastern can hear us. Excellent. Look at this. Someone even said they can. Absolutely fantastic. Is that the Alma Primo is absolutely fantastic, or is that you can hear absolutely fantastic? Anyway, let's go on. Next. Oh, let me reshare that desktop. Okay, share my desktop. 5:38, so we're running good time. This morning, we were really bogged down. So, okay, this is a nice one. They're all nice ones, but this is one that's come up several times. Up until just a few short weeks ago, I was only in support, and I know this question came up a lot. So, let's tackle it. We have recently closed our NNN library. We want to remove NNN from the list of pickup locations in the Primo request area. How do we do this? Is this done in Alma or Primo? Okay. So, first of all, let's just take a look at something here. If someone comes along here, and let me sign in. And if I click here, get it, and I click here, request, and I choose my pickup location. So I have this full list of libraries, and the reason I have this full list of libraries is because in my rule here, we see here this is from the main library general location, and if I were to go to my fulfillment configuration menu and to my fulfillment units and to my regular, which I know includes this list, and to my fulfillment unit rules and filter by request and look at the one here which states if user group is an administrative staff, which we already saw I am, then it's using the standard request terms of use, which states pickup location anywhere. So that's, first of all, that's why I've got this list. But it may be that for whatever reason, I don't want the law library or the art library to appear in this list. But maybe I do want them, I want to be able to loan to them, I want to be able to request and have them to pick up somewhere else. I've got a whole story in the GUI that I can, in the UI, the user interface, not the GUI, that I can override policies, etc. But let's say here I want to get rid of it. So, in Alma, I can come to Fulfillment Configuration menu. Then I choose the name of the library that owns the item, in this case the main library. And in the main library I'll choose relationships, and I'll say art library. I'm not delivering there. Save it. Here we have art library. Now we do the search again. We click to get it. We do request. And now I do not have the art library. I do not have the art library because I said I cannot deliver to the art library. Therefore, why should it appear in the pickup location? So let me just get rid of that now. We're going to put it back as we found it. We always leave things as we found them. And now we should get it again. Search. Get it. Request. There she is. Okay. So that's a way that we can get rid of it, not have it appear here in the pickup locations in the Alma mashup, it's officially called. Okay, any questions or comments there? Let me stop sharing my desktop. And anyone have a question or comment here? You can either raise your hand, send in a note, or just start talking. I'll give you one more second, everybody. Okay, no questions or comments. So let's go on. I'm going to reshare my desktop. And let's move on to the next question, which is question number 4. Oh, I got the wrong thing on my screen. There we go. Question number 4. Oh, slide 4 anyway. Okay, so this is an interesting one. we see many cases in Primo Central where we search for and find an article which is in a journal for which we have several active portfolios with full text coverage for the period of the article, but all of the portfolios do not show. How come? For example, we have 5 portfolios with journal School Library Journal for 2013, but we find an article for 2013, only 4 of them appear. All right, let's take a look at what we're talking about here. So I'm going into Primo, and I'm going to search here both the Alma University and the Primo Central, and I'll do a search for something here. And among my results, I see that I have, let's take this one. I have full text available at the following. Oh, we've still got that. Oh, we've still got our search Google for this title. Nice. We'll get rid of that very shortly. So, let's say the question here was they have 5 and they only see 4. I have 2, maybe I have more, maybe I have less. In any case, I can limit this now. And for example, say if I have CRKN, then do not show Wiley Online Library. And if I have Wiley Online Library, do not show the other one. And I can do this by the interface or the package name. We won't get into all the subtleties of the differences. But these that we see here are packages, and there's also the interface names of the packages. And we can limit it that way. By the way, we can also even see, if we go back to the view, this frame, show view frame source, and we take this URL like we did last time, we can even see a lot of details about why I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and if it's limited already or not. This is what we pasted in before. This is a debug mode. And I can see the view it, I can see the edit. If I was limited here, we're going to do it again once I edit it and see the differences. Because also in here, I can see already if things are already being filtered out. So I'll even keep that open. So let's take a picture of it. Let's first of all fix this full text. Who remembers where that is? It's in the labels. Who knows? Quick trivia. Quick trivia, let's see who's going to be the first one to answer. How come now I can't choose any of my display logic rules? Who knows? Quick, send in a note quick. We're going to see who's going to send in that note first. How come the transit time, oh, set a main library instead of institution. Way to go, Dean. If I go now to institution, now I have all the other options. Congratulations. So let's go now to the labels, and we'll fix that, this fancy text we did there, restore that so we see it normal, customize there, and we'll get rid of our general electronic service just to put everything back to normal. General electronic service. Oh, I'm in the, there we go. Okay, Google title, remove. Okay, back to where we were. All right, so let's take a picture here. I thought we removed that, but that's all right. Let's go into Paint. Okay, so now we have a picture of what we got there. Okay, if now we go to Fulfillment Configuration menu, we have display logic rules, and now I can make a rule, I'm going to add rule, which is going to say, for example, hide the service full text with package. Let's say we want to get rid of CRKN Wiley Blackwell files if I have Wiley Online Library. I can also change the order. I can do all kinds of stuff here. So I'll say with package, and by the way, we're doing a lot of work in March on this whole screen here. CRKN Wiley Blackwell files, select. If exists, full text. With package, now our package here is Wiley Online Library. Wiley Online Library, select. Okay, so now we're saying if I hide the full text with package this, if I have full text with package Wiley Online. So now I should only see Wiley Online because I'm hiding this one. Of course, I need to save that first. Let's give that a whirl. Nice, huh? Now we only have the Wiley Online. Compare that to our picture. Here's the picture. Here's the Alma. You can see how it changed. I don't know how it's going to appear there. The top, the top is the picture. Let's put it on the side there. Nice. Look at that. The left is the picture. Oh, I'm looking at someone's WebEx right next to me. And oh, you can see both of them. Fantastic. So here on the left, you can see I have. Oh no, that was my other computer. Okay, now I'm looking at someone's WebEx. Everything appears all right with the double screens. You can see on the left in the picture, I had CRKN Wiley Blackwell files in Wiley. On the right, which is the real Alma, I'm making that big now. And now I only have Wiley Online. Let's put that back. I'll remove that little thing there. We've got a comment in here. So you can also change the order if they're wanted Wiley above. Yes, you can. Correct, Yisrael? I'm here with my colleague Yisrael. Yes, you can also change the order there. Let's go back to the Fulfillment Configuration menu. And here I've got online services order, right. The General Electronic Services order would change the order of the Amazon, the Google search, etc. Online services order. And now we will say, for example, add to last services, add to the top. Yes, push stuff up, push stuff down. Add to the top the full text, package, Wiley Online. Oh, yeah, there's no Ajax here. Let's give this a try and see if it really works. Wiley Online Library, select, add and close. I'm going to move that to the top of the top. Creme de la creme. Oh, wrong one. Okay, and to the bottom, I think we don't even need to do the bottom now because we've already said put that one on the top. I could, though, if I always wanted the CKRN to be on the bottom regardless if it is Wiley, then I could say here that this full text, I don't even know why we still have the selected full text. We don't have that in Alma. We do still have selected? Okay. Package with the CKRN thing. That's what it was, right? CK Wiley Blackwell files. Add and close. Great. So now the Wiley one should be on top. Oh, there's no save here. Just automatically save it. Like when you add a Gmail, you know, there's no save. You just fill it in. Okay. Where are we? Ooh, it's 5:54. Time flies here. That's not where I wanted. That's not where I wanted. Here we are. Back to Primo. Everybody ready? First of all, now I should see both of them, and I should see Wiley on top. Unlike this paint where the Wiley is on the bottom. Here we go. Big test here. We want to finish off the day on a positive note. So now we're going to click the View It, see what's going to happen here. Let's give it a try. View it. Great. Wiley is on the top. CKRN is on the bottom, and they both appear. Okay. So that brings us to the end here. We can't start another one in 3 minutes. And, oh, look at that. Someone said they can even close one of their support incidents. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. So that's good. We can start, maybe we can just start taking support incidents during these sessions. Anyway, are there any other questions or comments? Before, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. Anyone want to raise their hand to give a question or comment? Or send in a note? No questions or comments, no notes. Okay, so please in the future, if possible, send in your questions a little earlier than the night before, and then we'll be able to get them all. Although I must admit, we've got so many questions coming in, more than we really, this whole Ask the Expert program, we've got more questions and more participants than we would have fathomed in our most optimistic dreams. Both sessions are always full. Yes, the recording of this will be available, someone asked. And we'll send out one more time the list, how you can get to the Alma Ask the Expert page. There you can see all of the future sessions. You can suggest a session, and you can see how to get the recordings. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a nice day.